How many times did you hear your mama them having those conversations and your mama wasn't no celebrity, but it was entertaining and you learned and you enjoyed hearing it. And that's one of the things that I said I'm going to bring in my podcast. I'm going to just have conversations with real people about real things because you don't have to be that or this to...
But what will happen by you doing that, people will feel comfortable. Like that story about New York, I don't think I've ever told that story before, but I trust you. Enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it was certain things I had that he's teaching me that because I get on.
Gotta edit it.
I get on and just talk some shit, and some of that shit can be held against me later on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
This is a Silk exclusive.
Welcome to another episode of Words, Music, Dance. I'm your host as always, Paul the Bull, no relation to Gavano. This is episode, I guess, 112, I believe. Yeah, it's 112.
Oh shit, R&B group.
Yeah, 112. It's three of us too. You know what I mean? I haven't done too many episodes in a while. I apologize. Shout out to everybody listening. All the back episodes is on YouTube as well as other content. So if you listen on the audio apps, check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/2021vision. There's more content on there for you there. But if you're listening now, I appreciate you still. All right, I will definitely have more content coming to the audio platforms. But the video, YouTube, got way more stuff. But like I said, I appreciate y'all. Everybody's listening, everybody's watching. Love you all. You know what I'm saying? The conversation continues. And here we go. I got Jared with me.
What up?
Got Fenny back. Haven't seen Fenny in a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fenny, you know, what's new with you these days?
Well, you know, I finally just graduated from college.
Took you 30-something years.
A minute.
That's what's up. That's a big accomplishment, though. No jokes.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't get out of jail. You went to college. You're supposed to put that one higher. You know what I mean? But shout out to Rowdy Rebel and and Bobby Smurder. But you actually got the good accomplishment. What was your degree? Your major?
My major was business administration, and then it was my minor. I definitely went for minor.
Okay.
Human resources diversity.
Okay.
And I want to thank these gentlemen right here because they definitely were one of the other few people who were supporting me when I couldn't make it to a bunch of events.
Right, no doubt.
Events. And them nights studying. Like, yo, you wanna? Nah, man. Nah. I gotta study real quick.
Right. And I remember conversations we had in the beginning of the podcast and stuff where you was like, yo, you felt bad you couldn't make it. I was like, no, that is more important. Take care of that. Man, the camera's gonna always be here. You gonna always come back.
Text messages like, yo, my bad, man. Listen, I can't make it. He's like, man, if you don't study,
right?
You don't worry about this. It's gonna be here. Don't worry about it, man. Like, it's rare to find. Like, I have good people in my corner. My girl, my daughter, my friends and my family. Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody. Like, when I talk about when you go to school and you just gotta do your thing, and just even at work, or you just trying to build yourself to be a better individual. You really have people caring and want to make sure they want to build you up and continue to do your thing. And not one person got upset and seeing me try to strive and could still, after graduating, still try to see me do better and strive for more because this is not the end, this is just the beginning. And you still got to push up, and that's what you should do. The fight never really stops. You always got to, I finished one level, now it's time to level up again, and again, it just doesn't stop. And
Message.
It's a great move. You know,
Absolutely.
That's what I learned actually from graduating. I learned like when I graduated, I took like a minute to myself. Like everybody was proud for me, and I didn't let it sink in yet. And when I finally did, I was just like, all right, I guess it's time to level up again.
Right.
You can celebrate for a little bit or for a long time, and you still got
got that paperwork. So you can get a better job so it's like that's just step one to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then, you know what I'm saying? So
I think that's funny. People, that's how the machine works. But it's not really like that. And so it's sometimes about who you know,
of course,
the experience you have, or a paper. It's funny, which you still end up in debt. But at the end of the day, you do what you need to do to better yourself, and if you feel like you need to get a paper, or America wants you to have a paper, that's fine, but don't let anyone take away your accomplishments, the experience, and the knowledge you have as an individual, especially as a black person, as a minority, don't let no one put you down. And believe when I say, no one will ever talk down to me. I don't care what position you have as an individual.
There you go.
You can be the CEO. You ain't gonna talk to me crazy. I'm sorry.
Right.
I work too damn hard to ever be spoken down to.
Right. That's what's up.
Sorry.
That's what's up. Jared, you ever plan to go back to school?
I do.
Oh, okay.
That's
good.
what's up, man.
That's what's up.
I'm actually have this webinar on Monday with Kingsborough. So yeah, I have things in the works. It's definitely something that I've definitely been wanting to finish. Because I hate starting something and leaving something undone. And that journey's been well overdue.
Right.
So, I've prioritized work over school more than anything. But then I realized I really got to invest in myself more than anything. Because at the end of the day, like you said, people look at papers more than anything nowadays, especially if you're trying to like get to another level. So it's either experience, that degree paper, or a trade. And we've gone the way of the dodo, by not having trades in schools anymore.
Right.
You have to pass high school to now get a trade. Unless you know somebody in the business and so forth.
But speaking of trade, you just started your own business.
I did.
And I know you mentioned it before on one of the other shows, but for the Words Music Dance listeners,
Bro, you started OnlyFans?
Not that business.
Yeah, not that business.
I'm sorry, because I didn't know how this was going.
But we're gonna come back to that later. but tell us about what you got going on over there.
I started Linden Woodworking. It is a woodworking business, so it's essentially crafted materials. So it's it's tables, desks, chair. You can range from a lot of things. Cutting boards. I have.
You make baby cribs? I'll let you later.
I actually can make a baby crib. But it's all. And the thing about me doing this, like I've been invested into doing this for about a year and some change, and honestly, the scale of it. Everything that I do, every day that I work on something is more experience than I didn't know the day before. I watch YouTube ridiculously enough because I'm always trying to see how to do certain things differently than what I'm doing it now. And I'm limited with some of the materials that I don't have because a lot of the stuff that you see on YouTube, people have these big machines and they spend thousands and thousands of dollars on these things, and I don't have such things. So I'm also looking at alternative measures to doing how I do it, and it's coming out really good. I have a few things coming up by the end of before the end of August. There's a pop-up event I want to get into. As soon as I get the actual pop-up date, I will let everybody know. Hopefully come out support. And like I said, it's just.
So you're gonna have stuff in the event. You're gonna make stuff for the. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, like that's the goal is to try to get. It's perfecting my craft at the same time having something that's solid for people to to buy.
Dope.
I want people to
hand
support.
Question for the King Shark over here with the hand.
Just wanted to know that.
You're serving the white.
So it's just the wood. You're gonna be making everything gonna be in the wood stuff.
Yeah, everything essentially is gonna be.
You trying to get like whole aluminums and you trying to get.
I want to know if he could do like ice sculptures too.
Oh no, I can't do ice sculptures. I'm not doing that.
You get the chainsaw.
Like that.
There will be some metal works eventually.
Oh, that's what's up, though.
There will be some metal works eventually. There is another kind of it's essentially an epoxy resin thing. If you look at a river table, you'll see some really fine works. I'm trying to get into that also because those have great value. Because essentially it's wood. Essentially it's you have your wooden piece, and within like the a line or however you create it, you have this epoxy fill, and you can have some majestical looking stuff like, and it'll look like you actually have like water or something running right through it. Depending on how it looks.
You trying to make some fancy things.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just say IKEA products and.
Yeah, this ain't nothing gonna
find. This ain't your regular IKEA.
Yeah. So this is Linden Woodworking.
Linden Woodworking, essentially, like I said,
Where can the people request some things? Or
you can request things currently on IG, Linden_woodworking, LINDEN_WOODWORKING.
Okay, sir. So everybody listening got that. Everybody watching, it'll also be in the description. So, make sure I hit them up for that.
I thought he was gonna add 3X's at the end of that.
No.
There's no 3X's at the end of that.
No. That's what's up.
That's good.
That may be Linden Woodworking after dark, but not this year.
Hey now.
I see you, sir.
Hey now.
Okay. Nah, but that's good though. That's what's up, man.
Thank you.
Hey now. But since you did bring up OnlyFans, we heard the news
Good
this
segue,
week.
sir. Good segue.
Yeah, I try to do that. But the news this week was that they're shutting down all the porn and not the studio. They still gonna be existing.
Ain't no studio, sir.
Right.
Studios the streets.
But the website will still exist. The app will still be existing, whatever. But they just saying no, not safe for work. Adult content will be nudity, pornography will all be removed as of I think October 1st. I think it said.
First day of October, yes, sir.
So, how do you guys feel about that?
You want to go first on this one?
I think it's
I got these jokes.
I think it's overdue, actually.
What now?
I think it's overdue.
Hold up. We're going to have this discussion.
You know why I say it's overdue is because I feel every few years is a new trend. There's always something new that's coming up. So, when everybody gets uproared about one thing, people just move to something else. Remember,
are you calling porn a trend?
No, the industry of porn isn't, but the different avenues are.
Okay.
Like, remember, you had Craigslist a few years ago. That shit got shut down. Up comes OnlyFans.
Well, that was more for the escorts and like the actual meetups. This is more just digital.
It's digital. We still show. We still, people still got meetups and so forth. You got your little premiere thing and content. You still selling ass. It's depending if you're touching it physically or not.
Okay.
So, but
I thought it was all, just watching, but
I mean, look.
You know something I don't know. How you know that?
I'm just saying, I'm on Twitter.
You out here subscribing.
I'm on Twitter.
How much did you contribute to the cause during the pandemic for the ladies that,
I added to the views.
For these women out here looking through different avenues.
I added to the views on Twitter. But that was about as far as I went.
Okay.
Because I'm not paying.
So you're
saying OnlyFans itself was just a fad. So you think something else is going to come from it?
Exactly. Like even I saw, I don't know what the aspects of it's going to be, but I even saw Tiger is going to start up this thing called MyStar. So it's kind of like people are going to move to the next thing. It's like you shut down one business, you just change names. Like how strip clubs would be one name today, and then they have a bad rep, move to something else, and you shut up shop there. So it's
What's your thoughts on it? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying. I think after that Bella Thorne shit happened, that kind of made things a little bit uneasy and so forth. That kind of put a big ass light to it. So you just move somewhere else.
I really want to ask, why do you think it's long overdue? Before I go to mine.
Because I think
like long.
Well, he said it's because it's a fad.
The whole way.
So you thought it was gonna end quicker? Could maybe the pandemic prolonged its time? Do you think that
the pandemic definitely prolonged its time?
Okay.
Because people are home. People like nobody's working. Like I've been to stores. I've been to American Dream Mall in Jersey. All these stores not open. Why? Nobody's working.
So you're saying all the OnlyFans chicks didn't need real jobs?
Half of them didn't. Half of them weren't trying to. Half of them were just collecting unemployment or whatever they were doing, and then not really having a real job. You just, and I always find that funny because, like,
hold on, sorry. Let me interject. I think you're taking it too far. I asked you one question. You took it too far.
He took it too far.
First of all, those things, OnlyFans, that's a job.
It is a job. You have a statement. Remember,
sir, don't dismiss it.
Right, OnlyFans has to pay taxes, so they have to reveal how much money is being. So yeah,
it's a job.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's a job that you think it needs to be.
Yeah,
but it's a job, right?
Money is exchanged.
Yeah. Now, you going a little too far, sir. But I will agree that I definitely posted today about people women having to go back to.
Hey, there's men on there too.
No, there are. There are some men there, but predominantly it's a women's game. But men are there too. And the funny thing is, yes, they have to get a real job. And I did see like maybe one woman post, like the amount of money she was asking for before, now it went down to a discount price until October 1st.
Which to me sounds stupid though, because it's like, why would you discount it now, knowing this is the end? You think they're gonna spend more? Maybe you think, right? Is it closeout sale?
It's a closeout sale.
Yeah, but you need to stock. You need to. I mean, unless you're doing more for the less, and more people gonna keep coming back. I guess.
For the moment, I saw OnlyFans. I see women doing anything, but most women that even when they did interviews or you would watch these podcasts and women would say they had OnlyFans, some of them didn't have a conversation where they show longevity. They didn't invest in themselves well. They just bought nice things. That's when I knew this is not gonna last, because eventually, people are gonna go back to work, or you know what, there's gonna be something new to look into or look onto. Yes, and you can always find a way. You don't have to pay or subscribe for something, because you know what, the internet's undefeated. There's always a way to see something for free. I'm sorry.
So here's the catch. To speak to your point and to say what you were saying about moving on to the next fad, do you guys know why OnlyFans are switching up their business model?
Nah, I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I probably didn't care. I just thought it was too funny. I'm not gonna lie. It was too funny for me to care, because I couldn't stop laughing. And I think I just didn't want to look beyond it, because it was like, I need to see more people more worried.
Gotcha.
It was like, it was like the Joker flaming, like throwing gas on the money.
Right. And you said you saw why? Or?
I saw him, but I can't remember why. But
so the reason why, because I'm inquisitive, so I always want to know. Because at first when I heard, I think they said about a month ago that they said they were going to do it because they were having investors get involved that wanted to clean up the image of the actual platform. The real reason...
If you didn't know, OnlyFans is a British website where people around the world can pay creators to gain access to exclusive paywalled content. If you're not familiar with the content on OnlyFans, let's just say that it's normally, but not always, pretty adult. That made it especially surprising when the company announced that they'd be banning pornographic content, i.e. most of the stuff on their platform. So why are they doing this? And although it might sound like a pretty trivial story, you should really care, because this is bigger than you think. So on Thursday evening, OnlyFans announced that it will be banning, quote, any content containing sexually explicit conduct from October. While it turns out that there are a couple of non-pornographic creators, like chefs and yoga teachers on the platform, it is mainly porn. So why on earth would they ban their biggest revenue source? Well, the answer is that banks and payment processing companies, basically Visa and MasterCard, don't like the content on the site, so threaten to stop processing any payments. This is probably because OnlyFans has been facing growing scrutiny recently over its ability to remove illegal and exploitative material, including underage material. In fact, earlier this month, 102 US congressmen and women demanded a Department of Justice investigation into the site for precisely this reason. And the Children's Commissioner in England said that OnlyFans had to do more about underage material. In response to the criticism, OnlyFans produced their first ever transparency report this July, where it said that it had found 15 accounts hosting underage material and had deactivated all of them. But this apparently wasn't enough, because the payment processing companies still threatened to pull out, and this didn't really give OnlyFans any choice. Either they changed their content guidelines to appease Visa and MasterCard, or they lost the ability to take payments, which would obviously lead to the collapse of the company. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. Last December, Visa and MasterCard briefly banned payments to websites owned by online pornography giant MindGeek, following reports that it was hosting revenge porn, uploaded without the consent of those involved. The financial businesses only backtracked when MindGeek deleted tens of millions of unverified videos from its sites such as Pornhub. And it's not just porn either. PayPal banned gun-related transactions in 2002, and various other payment processing companies have stopped processing payments for certain drugs that claim to improve cognitive performance, known as nootropics. Now, while this might sound like a trivial story, it is only porn after all. It points to a larger problem. Payment processing companies have the power to decide what we can pay for, and therefore which companies can exist. There's no oversight, no appeals process, and perhaps most importantly, no democratic accountability. Again, we should stress that it's not that we love porn or guns or misadvertised unregulated nootropics. It's that a handful of companies, Visa, MasterCard and PayPal, have the power to decide what you can buy. And given that basically every business today relies on digital payment processing, these companies can also decide which businesses can exist. It apparently didn't even matter that most of the material on OnlyFans was completely legal. If the payment processing companies don't like it, then that's the end of it.
So it's actually a bigger thing business-wise, because some would say, I wouldn't, but some would say it's infringing on amendments, First Amendments or what have you, the freedom of whatever to do what you want to do, whether speech or just performance, because they're not speaking much unless they got a whole role play skit. But it's the freedom of, hey, I want to present my body for monetary gains.
And all I understood was these strip clubs about to be popping again. No.
Well, it might, maybe strip clubs, you know what I'm saying, might, or another thing people are saying is that might be a rise of Bitcoin being the new currency for, or any crypto being the new currency, because if Visa and MasterCard don't want to be involved in the transaction,
cryptocurrency.
Right, there's plenty of cryptos. Bitcoin is the highest one, but it's valued at about $30,000, $40,000. I mean, $30,000, $40,000, you my wife. You're not just going to be dancing on this. Hey, come here. Come home, boo. If I give you one coin, or it's going to be fractions of coins or what have you, but they're saying that might present a new opportunity for them to bring crypto onto more of these platforms, whether it's the Pornhubs and other sites that do have subscription memberships. They also have the free joints, like you said. There's also a free porn on there, but a lot of people actually make a living off of uploading to those sites and, you know, receiving money on the back end.
Two things I could see. What he mentioned earlier about from moving away from OnlyFans, people will find another site to go to.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
For removing OnlyFans. For your point, see, if people don't know that, what he just said right now,
and a lot of people don't, because like you said, nobody looks further.
No one's looking further into why.
But I do, because I'm nosy.
It was more so people just went into the, I got to get real jobs.
Right.
Like, okay, well.
Because it's funny at first.
It was, and it's still funny now.
Yeah.
It's still funny now.
It is.
Until next weekend, now people are like, but why? Why is this happening?
And
now?
it's funny until you one of them people that subscribe, or you want porn, and you're like, all my porn is gone. What do I do now? Get a girlfriend? Go outside?
You should remember that even if you want to go back just a little bit more, that some of these women that actually did do it for money, for whatever reason, it don't matter. Some of them actually lost their jobs.
Yeah.
And we're talking about teachers who did this on the side. It was a side hustle, and respectable teachers actually got fired. And if we go down that, route, are we really gonna punish these women for doing what they either had to do or needed to do to make money now to survive? Like, well, I mean, because now, like, when I mean that is like, all right, so I'm basing it as if you was a former teacher, right? I don't know how this works, but you can't get your job back.
Right.
Like, how does this work as far as
if it's known
putting
that
yourself
you were on OnlyFans?
Like, how does that work now? Putting yourself out there. If everything he just said right now that we're processing, how does this work now moving forward?
Because now you're a porn star. Yep. If it's known that that's what you did, that's your job now. Because every job now going forward is going to be like, no, we know what you did.
And they research.
They look into everything. And that's why I say
Google is everything at this point.
That's why I said this is going to be a bigger issue than we really thought it was, because
it ain't funny now.
All the credit card companies are saying we don't want to be involved in this industry.
Which is funny because, for years, like you would have like these, like, I mean, we have free porn sites, but before when you had like the bigger name, you still do have some bigger name porn sites, whatever. Like they want subscribers. So now it's like, now are you using like how if they cut the Visa and MasterCards and let's say Discover America Express all want to gang into the same thing. So then it's like we're cutting into the porn market.
You're right.
The big daddy.
Right.
Market.
So not just the stars, like, you're cutting into the production companies and because again, porn is one of the biggest industries. Porn dictates technology.
Man, that's unless you use
PayPal. When VHS went to, PayPal's a part of that group as well that don't want to be part of it.
Shit, no,
so it's Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, they don't want to be. But like you said, like porn has been a big industry. DVDs became a thing because porn was put on there from the VHS, and then the internet kind of popped when porn became digital, and so a lot of Vince McMahon and porn create the medium of distribution of video. You know, Vince McMahon with pay-per-view and all that stuff. Porn was pay-per-view. With the Playboy channel and all that. Vince and porn is always the one who dictate what's our next medium of video distribution.
And if you look at any industry now, when all these corporations really want to sell a product, what's the first thing they're gonna tell you? What's the fast thing to get money? Sex sells.
Yeah, sex sells.
So it's funny how just listen to all that, but y'all forget that sex sells and gets your money quicker. But now you don't want it to be a part of it.
Right, and I guess I forget the exact. It was a person that started this kind of thing, but they kind of, like I said, they grouped it all into the bad porn. I would say.
The dark web.
Yeah, because like I said, there's people that do. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like the I don't want to say the word, but the RAPE and the violent porns and things. And
it's basically what men fantasize. What they fantasize.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say men. I'm sorry.
Some people have
the fantasies
that
of these categories. Are so like taboo. They're like, you know what? I don't want that one.
Right.
We want the soft porn.
But they can't control.
We don't want the
and some of it is, like I said, there's children that lie. There's people that lie about their age, and it's the trafficking. Yes, right. So they're trying to not be affiliated with it.
Which is true, because if you ever look and you be like, oh hell no, because you don't want to be, you don't want anything to be grouped into whatever you see. You be like, nah, I don't like this. This is uncomfortable.
And we know some people lie, like at Best Buy and stuff. If you got stuff like that on your phone or your laptop and stuff, they find it, the Geek Squad find it. Now you going to jail and you're like, nah, I just watched that video, but I didn't know she was, you know what I'm saying? So just have it, and even YouTube, for example. I'm on YouTube, and they flagged an old video I had, and because a kid was in it, but I think I put a clip of something, and the child wasn't doing nothing freaky, but there a lot of sites now cracking down on what children are involved with. Even YouTube changed their policies on. I don't even, like I said, it's an old video, so I had to go back and look at it and see what are you talking about. It was a clip I added into it. It wasn't even like it was something we talking, and I put a clip to show what we were talking about.
I got it.
But because there was children in it, so a lot of them are cracking down. And like I said, it's them taking one thing with missing children, child trafficking, things like that, and then saying we got to crack down on this. So let's start with, and it's like that's the reason you're going with, like so.
I'm very confused.
Yeah,
it's only confusing because how you want to crack down on something that you don't give no awareness to.
Right.
Like people don't know. Like
one of the smallest stories of last year was they found 40-something kids in Atlanta or something like that, or just somewhere in Georgia. Found a bunch of missing children. Canada, like different places. They don't
It's never spoken about. Yeah. And especially when it's our people. Like we out here missing and we don't even know.
We still have a lot of women missing in Chicago, all over the world. People get smuggled and so forth. And
they get smuggled into.
And it's something that gets brought up every now and then. Like because even back when we had the Pizzagate thing,
right?
And then after that, it became if you see certain items on Wayfair or whatever. And
so certain names of the different furniture.
Like certain furniture will be like a code, or you'll see a regular ass this corporate table is like $130-something. But if you see that same corporate table for $10,000, it's a code saying that's really a kid you get. So there's a lot this.
And a lot of times it gets played for a joke. It gets played as a joke sometimes, but we don't know. It could be a cover up for the, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the internet. You don't know.
Right.
That's the thing about the internet. It's so hard to believe everything you see.
Because one hashtag could be a diversion for what's really going on.
True.
So.
But one thing about OnlyFans, even though I said, it's overdue and so forth, I've always said it. I've said it in previous episodes. So I support sex workers. I believe,
we know because you know about the. Okay,
I support strip.
I was about to go a deep dark hole full of jokes, but you got it.
Right.
No Cuomo.
No Cuomo. But although
there's a
Cuomo, Cuomo de Blasio.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Cuomo de Blasio. Somebody made it actually legal for prostitution in New York.
Oh yeah, prostitution in New York. Yeah.
So
back to the streets.
But like I said,
off the web onto the streets.
But like I said, it's
time to get that leg working.
Right.
Like what you do with your body is what you do with your body. I don't care. Do it safe. I don't care. That should be nothing that the government should tell you what you should do and what you can and cannot do with your body. I mean, there are certain things that yes, you shouldn't be selling your ass in front of a school. There are certain things you should not be doing, but that's also common sense that ain't so common in the world.
Because now all of a sudden a bunch of dads gonna take the kid to school now. You know? I'll take Junior.
I've actually seen that.
I got him. I'll take him.
Well, first and foremost, but dads out here doing it. Let's give them their just dues for taking their kids to school.
Right.
But if there's some inspiration while they're going to the school, hey.
Yeah.
Have that thing.
I got him. I'll pick him up too. No,
don't worry about it. Don't you get out at 5? No.
I'm gonna take lunch. Go get him. And then
But it's all the way across town. No. Don't worry.
For my son, anything.
I'm good.
I'm gonna go get him.
You know Jenny from bookkeeping? She got me. No.
Right, I'm gonna go get my.
She gonna make sure I'm good.
I'm gonna go get my child.
I'm gonna pick my child up.
No child left behind.
No, it's a sad situation, for those who actually treated this shit like this was their only hustle. Yeah. And if you think that's gonna be your only hustle, you're kind of short-sighted, because you should know. Even though that was one thing I actually want to say is like that kind of thinking of child, like sex working means child pornography, throw everything in one box. It's no different than how people have this irrational fear of thinking Islamics mean terrorism, or how guns mean evil, or whatever. Like, if that's the case, then you should equate. If that's the case, then you should equivalent white people with evil too, because that's fucking KKK and whatever. Like, or even going back to like other shit. But still, it's like if you put your thoughts into one thing and not try to think outside the box into it, you're only going to just stay in your view of the world. And that's kind of like what this whole sex working thing is like. You can't throw everything in one box,
right?
Especially that. Like, I get you want to protect children. Absolutely, I'm all for that. I have nieces. You have nieces. You have, you have a daughter, a stepdaughter, whatever. But it's like, I get it. We all want to protect children. All for that. However, what's the best route? What's the best route for everybody? Instead of thinking that's my way of doing it, and everybody has to go that one way only. Like,
stop porn.
And you can't. You're not gonna stop that $1 billion industry.
Right. They think they will.
You can stop child porn, yes, but you can't stop that $1 billion machine.
To dispute your point, some of these young-minded women, or even older women now, some of them actually think that OnlyFans was the move. It was like that way, and it was. I understand some of us think like that was for the moment. Paul brought up a very good point earlier about, COVID, we stood home. So you know what? Some women actually made enough money to buy themselves a whole house. Yeah. Like a real house with that money that was getting poured into them. I'm sorry, but when you see $400,000 in your account, and they never seen that before, I'm sorry, they're going to think that's the move. Because why? Okay, yes, we are at home. Maybe when things opened up, I don't know if it went higher or lower. I can't call it, right? But to them, they thought that was, at this moment, this is all I have. Some of them, clearly, you can tell by certain interviews, I know the ones I've seen, I saw certain women did not think further than, I got to buy a bag or a car. I'm like, that's all you think about, shorty? And you know what? To Paul's point about, or even your point earlier, we can't distinguish their ages. Sometimes when you look at a certain female, you be like, damn, how old are you? Because, a 21-year-old can look like an 18-year-old. Or a 40-year-old can look like a 21-year-old. You just don't know. And the thing is, some of them don't look past the month, a year, 2 years, 5 years. Some of them could have had all that money, put it to the side, and invested in bigger and better things. Some of them didn't. Now, yes, they have to go back into the workforce. That's why I asked Paul earlier.
Well, not everybody, because that's what I was going to say. The thing is, it's the nudity. So no pornography, no nudity. So those that...
If I was subscribed, I ain't doing
But
that.
I'm saying, there are some women that were doing it in bikinis or dresses, showing outfits and things like that. And they had some people subscribing too.
Listen,
they're going to still be all right.
I'm tired of this conversation.
Are they?
Listen.
Because you can still kind of...
Well, as of now, they're saying whatever's not... Was it NSFW, not safe for work? Which is nudity. They're saying nudity, pornography. They're saying that.
But even women in scantily,
Well, that could be the next thing, because Instagram does that. Instagram is very picky about don't show this, but don't show that. Oh, we flagging you for that. So, and that's why I said it could be a trickle because same thing like I said with YouTube. Their rules say one thing, but then later on, like I said, it was an old video that got flagged. So I'm like, I haven't even looked. I don't even know what's on there. Like, so that's what I'm saying. As of now, they're saying no nudity.
If you look at those pictures, some pictures. Some will show very, very clear.
Some blur it, some try to hide it, some put it up there until it gets reported, or
some don't, some do. Bro, I'm just
so OnlyFans gonna do the same thing.
If you don't tell these people your OnlyFans page so they can subscribe to your shit.
Alright, look.
Why you have October?
You only got 1 month left. Support me at Linden_woodworking.
There you go.
He's gonna show you how his wood works.
Right.
After 11 p.m. on live.
So one of the things y'all did say was, you know what I'm saying, if they shut down the platforms, then and prostitution is legal in New York City or whatever, the hoes might get back to the street.
At least the New York-based ones,
yeah.
Because you still got one from all over.
But what's happening now is Elon Musk just invented some robots that might take their jobs too. Y'all down to get the sex bots?
They've been trying to replace.
I ain't gonna front. His paws had me like, is he gonna
They've been trying to replace. The Real Effect, the one for so long. Remember, like what was 4 years ago? They had like the sex dolls.
They had the dolls, yeah.
Like the actual doll, like those actual.
First and foremost, they still in business.
Yes,
they still in business.
They had them on Amazon. I think some dude.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, they were like Amazon.com or something.
But there was so many women. No, there was so many women who were so pissed about it. Like they were like, "She can't replace us." Though it's like. But y'all use dildos, like
so.
Y'all though, that what he just said right there. I remember a girl put a selfie up, and I ain't gonna front. I'm mad disrespectful. I said, "Damn, you out here looking like a whole sex doll," and she was like, "Why you gotta be so mean?" I'm like, "Stop using them filters."
They use the filter. I was gonna say use the
stop using the
filters.
filters.
You know what I'm saying? But Elon didn't make sex bots specifically, but he did make some lifelike robots. I believe the Tesla bot. It said it's like 5'8", 125 pounds. It's supposed to now. It's not just for sex.
Is he fat shaming people?
At this point, it might replace all our jobs.
I'm just saying, is he fat shaming? Because
I just need to know.
Why that be 125 pounds?
I'm just saying that's what it is, but it might replace all our jobs.
I just need to know if we could take them. Is this a T1000 and can it outrun?
Well, no. Listen, it's intended to do the difficult jobs that we don't want to do.
We'd be looking at a friendly 5'8" robot weighing only 125 pounds since it is built out of undisclosed lightweight materials. It would be able to carry 45 pounds and deadlift 150 pounds. The Tesla bot is not fast. It reaches speeds of up to 5 miles per hour. Musk joked about the bot, saying you would be able to run away from it and, most likely, overpower it. I'm not making that up. He also said, we certainly hope that this does not feature in a dystopian sci-fi movie. I'm not making that up either. One of the goals of the Tesla bot is to eliminate dangerous, repetitive, boring tasks. There was a slide on the technical details. The head would feature a screen to provide information to whomever's looking at the bot. It would run on Tesla's full self-driving computer with an autopilot system using 8 cameras to help. AI is a big part of Tesla bot, with one slide mentioning the use of neural net planning, simulation, and multicam video neural networks. The bot will be using all the tools that are in Tesla cars. Musk said that one of the goals of the Tesla bot is to have it do things that it was not explicitly trained to do. Telling the bot to go get your groceries or attach a bolt to something should be doable. A prototype of the Tesla bot could be a reality in 2022.
Which at that point is very vague.
So you're trying to, so they're trying to replace immigrants.
They're trying to replace humans. You thinking immigrant? I'm thinking all of us.
Right.
They're trying to replace all of us because this is the first one that's 5'8", 125. They might make another one that's about what? You two about 6'2"?
I'm 6.
Two,
I'm 6. I'm 6 feet, 295.
295. That could be next.
It's gonna give one with super strength.
So what do you think?
They got the bot that makes those 3-pointers.
They got the jump shot right
in China.
Right. So what do y'all think about these robots now coming into?
If you don't stop with this bullshit, and I'm over here thinking about iRobot.
Well, he said Elon said they're friendly.
So was the robots with Will Smith. And you saw what happened.
I'm just telling you what Elon said.
Matter of fact, so was Vision. So was Ultron.
I'm just telling
Who else am I missing?
I'm just telling you what Elon said. Elon said they're friendly.
I got a few. I'm still missing more, ain't I?
Elon said they're friendly.
Damn it, man.
So what do y'all think?
Oh shit.
Fenny, leave, bro.
look, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It looks cool in the picture, and I ain't gonna accept that right yet. And at the end of the day, what he did mention earlier about taking the jobs that we don't want to do, let's be honest. Nobody wants to do a job. You gotta love what you want to do. And at the end of the day, I remember when white America would complain so hard about
they're taking our jobs.
I keep that same energy. When the T-1000s come out popping and they're doing your job, sir, you can't blame us now. And look, I'm all for technology. He knows I love it. Everybody knows I love technology. But people already had a hard time using ATMs in the bank and taking away the cashiers. You think they're gonna be okay? Look, you were better off giving us a flying car more than a robot. And I guarantee you, they would be easy with that more than a robot. I can't speak for everybody, but just listening to somebody replace your job, it's detrimental to your income. And then eventually if you really want to look at how movies started, the robot goes from doing your job to now you're going to have a helper. That's like the Jetsons. Ruby, Rosie, right? Rosie. Yeah. Like, are we going to have that too? We have to be careful. Like, it goes down a very deep, dark hole with conspiracy theories.
So do you fear it? You think this is the start of the...
Man, I'm on both sides, man. I fear because you know what? At the end of the day, it could be a good thing, but you always have to look at both sides. Okay. And I could be with it for a second, but I'm like, chill, let me take my job. I got to work.
So what you think?
I worry about who programs these things.
Elon Musk.
A white man?
Elon Musk. Well, he's from Europe or something.
You out here gonna say gonna be a racist robot? Damn, that's all I need.
Well, as of now, I don't think they talk. I think they just work.
Look,
so
I'm just saying, I worry about who programs them because if I
want to
see
change my answer.
Elon.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
No, because if I see a robot,
it's not a test. I want to change my answer.
You're talking about racist robots.
If I see a robot cop and they beating niggas' asses like other people do, then I'm like, see that I wonder who trained them or wrote his code. So I worry more about who's really. Cause he can create the thing, but somebody can just.
Well, at this point, they can if they use the artificial intelligence that exists, it'll be like they'll basically take on the. I mean, because artificial intelligence, like you said, Ultron. It takes from what already exists. So if they go by the numbers, according to Candace Owens, the numbers aren't that high.
Racism exists.
But according to Candace Owens, not really.
You have to look at it. It's not about racism at that point. If you're going to look at artificial intelligence, any movie you've seen, it's either going to be one or two things. It's either a robot trying to understand humanity and thinking they can change it, or they think they're better.
So you fear it as well? You're afraid of it?
I'm not too scared of it.
You're not scared of it?
And look, I understand the concern for it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I completely get it because any threat against your livelihood is scary. You know, it's like even with COVID, people losing their jobs, people losing their livelihood. That shit is scary. I totally get it.
You know who can't catch COVID?
Robots. But you know, it's the reason why I don't fear it is because one, I think I'll be long dead for all that happens anyway.
Oh, you think so?
Oh no, they're coming out next year.
Well, I ain't worried about it.
Oh, you ain't worried?
I'll be dead next year.
Damn, that was mad dog. Yo, edit this out. No,
it's been a pleasure knowing you, bro.
Word. R.I.P., sir.
Nah, but at the same time, it's like there's so much that has to go into this. Like, it could lead into freaking what was that movie? Demolition Man. You know, so we essentially had androids running, you know, like running things, and you have virtual sex and so forth like that. Like, you know, it's like I said, it's scary for anybody who has a job that, you know, that it's a day-to-day thing, you know, and it's like, well, damn, you're gonna replace me for something that is cheaper, you know, to operate and so forth, and life doesn't get cheaper itself. Money, rents, and all that shit, it all goes up. It never comes back down. So, you know, for you to lose it, it'll be a lot more. I can't really see a thing getting to a point where you're losing, where you're trying to replace humans in total. Although,
Brainstorm just happened.
I did see a survey talking about there has been a decrease in white people in America. Okay. So this actually might be their trying to be, like their replacement. So shit.
Well, I mean,
did you just compare? No,
I mean, I don't know where you're going with that, but you got to remember if they use the robots to replace the jobs, that means who's still in charge? The CEOs, the bosses of the jobs are the only ones that still have a job.
Until they get replaced.
By who?
The robot.
They're the ones that make the robot. You think they're going to have them replace themselves? No.
The king died too.
So you telling
this
me
this ain't a kingdom? This is some other stuff. It's a republic.
So you feel they're gonna
Terminator?
They're gonna transfer.
They kill a black dude. They didn't kill a white guy.
Hold on. Do you think they're gonna transfer
robots?
They're gonna transfer their brain into the robot?
So now it's get out.
The white people.
Right. What are you saying? Where'd you go? Because I'm trying to figure where you went with this whole white people.
No, because
I'm lost. So go ahead.
Here's why. Here's the correlation that I was saying between that.
Okay.
It's essentially like since you still have a lot of us on unemployment, but talking about minorities.
Okay.
We still have an unemployment rate and so forth.
Okay.
You're losing your white majority to essentially what America's 80% white and 20% black, or like 10% black, whatever, so forth. So you're losing your manpower. So because you're losing your manpower, you're going to replace that with artificial manpower. Now, granted,
that's not what they're doing.
They can't.
They replacing us. They getting that 20% out of here, and that 80% will be 100%. Allegedly, I don't know if that's the plan, but I don't think that's like you said. If it's 80, it ain't 80-20, but if it's 80%, that's a big number for them to say, "Hey, it's down to 79." That's like when I worked for Microsoft, and it was like, "Ooh, Apple, Mac OS is eating into the the shares," and it was like they went from 2% to like 5%. That's not enough. Windows is still the number one operating system. That didn't even at this point now. I think Windows is still 80% of the world, and even with iOS, Android, not like it still. So yeah, even though they lost a little bit of the market share, it's still the king. And to me now, you said you want to change your answer. What was your? Okay. To me, I don't trust Elon. Not to say I don't trust him because he's gonna take the world, but I don't think these things are gonna work. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but Elon promised in Vegas the boring tunnel system.
Yeah, which only goes from
one wing to the other wing. Yeah. It was supposed to be autonomous. It's people driving the cars. Mm-hmm. So Elon don't come through on promises.
Even I believe SpaceX last year.
SpaceX, the autonomous cars don't really work like they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. So Elon's track record ain't too.
But he did destroy Dogecoin for a while. Dogecoin.
But that wasn't him really. That was just idiots online. Like again, that's more people involvement. That's people watching, pulling out because he said what he said on Saturday Night Live. That wasn't his influence. Him per se with his hands on, he don't have the best track record with stuff. The Cybertruck that he promised like 2 years ago got delayed again. The Teslas the best thing he did was the Tesla system with the charge ports and stuff. Right. The cars themselves still very bland. They don't do what he promised with them. So he don't really come through his promises. So
the one thing he just reminded me about right now is just thinking about it in all actuality, a class I took robotics when I was in Brooklyn College. Mm-hmm. It's not easy programming anything. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of code. It ain't. It's not done in a year.
Correct.
And in one class, I remember they were showing us they wanted to do look at it like Knight Rider Kid, right? Mm-hmm. That is cool. That's a TV show. Mm-hmm. Try doing that in real life. Mm-hmm. A car actually being able to drive itself, meaning not an individual, but the person actually.
Well, we have the cars now that can park themselves.
But I'm talking about like the remote part of it, like somebody actually it's like driving a real car but remote, right? That is a hard task to do. Mm-hmm. That is a hard task to do. Yes, we see it, and even Paul just he clicked my memory. Like, you're not going to see that robot, not right now. And especially the programming that needs to be done with it. If you can't get a car to drive itself from what I've saw, y'all can't go from one project. Well, you could actually. You can go from one project to another, but have a finishing product. Yeah, yes, a car can park itself, but drive itself,
Now,
having a robot,
now,
artificial intelligence, these are a lot of different things that people go down the hole with.
The sensors, right? They have the cameras and the sensors. They have the cars that keep you in the lane and things like that. So, but I don't equate the autonomous cars to this robot. This robot is full 360. Like a car, you can keep it within a lane, but a robot is allowed to just move and whatever its job is. So you're programming to the job or whatever. Yeah. I feel the robots will. They will exist. He's going to make them, and they're going to be a finished product. I don't know what companies are going to buy into it because he made the autonomous trucks, and FedEx and all of them was like, yeah, we're still not using them.
Somebody has autonomous dogs that help.
They got the Boston Electronics, something like that. They got them dog joints.
Yeah.
That, again, they exist.
They help track, yeah.
But are they using them yet? I don't know if anybody's using them yet.
I think military.
Oh, okay.
Military.
Like for the bomb, like the bomb joints. Okay, so something like that. Elon, like I said, he made them trucks that he said, yo, FedEx, UPS, you guys, here's the truck. The trucks exist. Ain't nobody buying them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? None of the companies is really buying into them. So I don't know. This might be the one he get right. I don't know. But as far as before, his track record ain't really successful when it comes to this. So that's why as of now, I'm not really worried about it. The demo he showed and stuff like it was just like, it's Elon. He's fallen on a lot of promises. He's right. He just got money. He don't know what to do with it. I mean, the flamethrower he made the flamethrower, right. And people was like, "What am I going to do with this? Like, I want to buy a flamethrower. Like, okay, I can buy it, but what am I like? Where are we selling these at? Like, it's just out here."
That's a hilarious hundred story, man. Because you got to be worried about the apocalypse.
I guess, but
he just made it too early.
It could be like that dude. What was it? Last year. That was during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. The dude back in the B-25 would jump on the top of 25.
And use the flamethrower.
Right.
You could be like him.
Right. So I mean,
did they get him? Because I know they were still looking for him.
SpaceX finally had their first rocket that was able to come back. Like they had like one out of like however many chances.
Richard Branson touched the sky and came right back.
So down. These rich dudes just got money to spend and they
You got nothing to do.
Well, at the same time, it's like they're talking about Earth is only to be sustainable for another couple hundred years after.
I'm good.
So that's why
I'll be dead.
That's why they're trying to venture into Mars to basically take over their world and shit like that and become whatever. Look, that's just.
Damn, I was thought you was gonna give me another planet, and you was like, I can't give you this answer.
Well, because they said there was another planet, another galaxy that's similar to ours. Something 9, CS9 or something. I don't know. There's a planet that's similar to us, but I don't know how they got the camera technology to see it. But they do, apparently, allegedly. I don't know.
Oh, that's what we're doing now. Huh?
Yeah, but as far as the robot goes, you're not worried about it. You still worried or?
No, man. Okay. It's like even the aspect of even thinking about a robot and listening to your stuff. Mm-hmm. Like people go down the rabbit hole. Even like, yo, what if the robot can get hacked? Right. We watch these thing is we watch movies. Mm-hmm. Movies put the ideas in our heads, and we start thinking about just a lot of things.
But on top of that, movies do have real concepts too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like so, even if it could be science fiction, they still have concepts.
Because you were talking about the programmer. Mm-hmm. Or I'm sorry if it was you, but just the fact of it could get hacked, and then all it takes is one bad move.
With Elon, it depends on what software he uses to program it. Because if he creates his own thing, then it'll be harder to hack. It would take some more time. But that just depends on Elon. Because if he uses existing AI, that's what I'm saying. There's existing artificial intelligence that exists, Google, Google Assistants, and Siri, and things like that. But if he does his own thing, which he's known to do, because he's done that, like I said, with Tesla, they got their own charge stations and ports and things like that. So if he goes fully, independent, it'll be harder to hack. But it won't. It all be taking somebody from internally to pass the code out. Then it's a wrap. But so what about sex bots? Y'all down for the sex bots?
I'm good.
He's a married man.
I mean, but he might.
I like how you swung it my way, but you ain't answered the question.
I'm a single man. I don't give a fuck.
So would you get a sex bot?
Would I get one? I rent it.
Or rent? You would rent one?
You would rent a sex bot?
Whoever had this, like.
I need to know how far this gonna go.
You gonna wear protection? Sex bot? You gonna get antivirus software?
You gonna wear the aluminum?
Got the Norton condom.
You got the aluminum, put it right there.
I got that McAfee.
Word, you got that McAfee and Trojan got a partner up to.
For the real Trojan virus.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Like I said, we don't know what this is where the world is going. A lot of things are changing, a lot of laws, rules.
There's a lot of things that's been kind of autonomous. Where you guys self-checkout lanes there, essentially they operate on their own.
Well, that's not even, but that's not new because self-checkout is just you doing their job. Because it's they checkout, but now you do it. It's not even.
But no, is that and it's to expedite the line faster.
Yeah, but they do have the Amazon stores. That's more. Yeah. But
you have trains.
I always thought self-checkout we should get a discount because I'm doing their job. Like
the L train, with the L train and the 7 train, those we have train operators and there are train operators that actually sit in the operating cab, but the trains go themselves. You just keep pushing a button every 30 seconds to say I'm still here.
Right, and that's how the autonomous cars are right now. Because you can have it drive itself, the Teslas can drive, but you got to be in the front seat, and it has to see you. It checks to see if you're looking at looking up. No, it just make sure you're looking upward. You're not falling asleep or something like that. You got to be looking towards the road. So does
it stop when you fall asleep? Just want to know that.
I think it's supposed to. I don't know if it does or not. It's supposed to.
It'll probably do an alert.
Yeah, it's supposed to though. If you're on the highway, it's gonna pull over. It can't just be like, oh my God, he's sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Whoa,
right.
I didn't tell you to do that.
Right. I mean, if it comes to a gradual stop or something, maybe I don't know.
Still be unsafe to do that on a highway.
You're on the highway, right? You put the hazard lights on, then you are sleeping. You know what I'm saying? But we're getting there.
Like Siri, bring me home.
Right, but like you said, it's all with the sensors. So it's a thin line between autonomous or just dependent. Depending on the lanes and the cameras.
You have robots that build. Remember, people used to build cars. Like you have these robots that replace
the arms. That's
but people don't see that
arms.
though. See,
it took them jobs. It took jobs.
The reality
Easy
is,
Pass now took all the toll booth jobs away.
Because toll booth was shit back then.
Some McDonald's don't even really have the
right. They got tablets.
And I think all that stuff is due to pandemic stuff. And people lost their jobs, and then when you want to rehire people, some people don't want to come back. They're like, well, okay.
Some people can't come back.
But also some people also will say, I make more money on unemployment than I do this, so I'm not coming back.
No,
so then when it's time to come back, they're like, okay, now we're gonna pay you less than what you probably could have made during that pandemic, because I know some jobs are.
Shout out to Dennis Schroeder.
But I know there were some places that were going to hire people for way more than they would have ever made before. Like, not saying it's like that big of a deal, but you get hired at $17 for a job that you would have got paid $11 for before. Those things were there, but people weren't, because they were trying to get employees to come back, or people to try to get back into work, and they're like, "No, I'm good. I'm good on unemployment." So then now when unemployment, in September gets back to regular status, now they're like, shit, I gotta go back to work. And then it's like, well, nah, I'm good. I got this robot now. Or if you don't have the robot now it's like, well, I was gonna pay you 17, but now I'm gonna pay you like whatever the minimum
15 or this
15
whatever.
Right now. Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, like I said, we'll see. This is the plan. Like I said, you can look online. They got the video of the robots and his. It's hard. It's just hard to watch Elon present stuff because he has Asperger's, whatever, and he has like his Twitch, and I do respect him because he never has a script. But it's just like he forgot what I even made. Like, what am I talking about again? It was the robots, and they do stuff, and
he proved that outside that
doggone right. His speech pattern just throws me off. So I'm like, yo, what is this? So I had to watch another YouTube show to explain what he just made. Like, yeah, because what I'm saying. But we're gonna see what do y'all think about this. Any OnlyFans content creators want to holler at me and tell me what y'all doing next. Anybody trying to get a sex robot? Or any robot, for that matter. It doesn't have to be just sex.
If anybody can explain what Tiger's My Story really is.
Who cares? It's Tiger. Nobody really cares.
Another version of OnlyFans.
Yeah, but again,
his OnlyFans to do this, so it may be.
But again, like I said, right?
Depending on what they're gonna do, I know.
If they shut that down too, he can't take credit cards. It's gotta be cash only.
Send checks.
Right. Send me it, and when I get it, then they'll get the content.
Send me check 7 days later.
Zelle, right. But then Zelle uses those credit cards. A lot of Zelle is in like the card apps. Yeah. So, we're gonna see. Let us know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Comment below. Let me know what y'all think about that. The conversation continues.